Your mind is lying to you. Yes, you heard that right. Every thought you cling to, every belief you defend as truth, is a trick. Not out of malice, but out of habit. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and seeing a reflection that isn't yours. That reflection tells you who you are, what you deserve, and what your life should be. You trust it because it looks familiar, because it feels real. But a monk once told me, the mirror is cracked and the reflection is borrowed. Your mind is that mirror, and every crack distorts the truth. Every distortion becomes a story you believe, a story you call life. We are taught from the moment we open our eyes to trust our minds. Schools, society, even our families encourage it. Think logically, they say. Follow your instincts. But logic can be a cage, and instincts are often fear dressed in courage as clothes. The monk explained to me that the mind's greatest skill is convincing you that fiction is reality, that pain is permanent, that happiness is just around the corner but never within reach. It whispers, you are not enough. You are too late. You should have done more, been more, had more. And you listen because it sounds like you, but is it? Or is it the echo of countless lies you've accepted as truth over the years? Consider this. Every time your mind tells you, I can't, it is not protecting you, it is chaining you. Every time it whispers, they are against you, it is weaving fear into your reality. Every time it convinces you, I need more to be happy, it is painting an illusion that will never come true. The monk used to say that the mind is like a cunning storyteller sitting around a fire, and you are the audience hypnotized by shadows on the wall. You think the shadows are real, you fear the shadows. You chase the shadows. But the storyteller? He has no loyalty to you. He only wants you engaged, enthralled, trapped. And yet most people spend their lives worshiping that storyteller. They ask it questions, seek guidance from it, and take it as gospel. What should I do with my life? They ask, and the mind responds with narratives shaped by fear, memory, and desire. Do this, avoid that. Hurry before it's too late. But here is the twist. The monk revealed to me, the mind is not a tyrant to be defeated. It is a child to be understood. Not with argument, not with resistance, but with awareness. Because the moment you notice the storyteller spinning its tailies, you step outside its illusions. You stop being the audience. You become the observer, and that is freedom. He asked me once, do you know why people suffer? I nodded, expecting him to give a grand philosophical answer. But he said simply, because they believe everything their mind says? Think about that for a moment. Every regret, every resentment, every fear, every craving, it begins in the mind and gains power only because you treat it as truth. Imagine a fire that only burns because you keep feeding it logs. Stop feeding it, and the fire loses its control. Stop believing every thought, and you begin to reclaim your life from the illusions of your own mind. The monk had a small ritual. Each morning he would sit quietly, eyes closed, and say, I am not my thoughts. He would watch them arise like clouds across the sky, fleeting, ever-changing, often dramatic, but never permanent. Thoughts, he explained, are not commands. They are visitors. Some are pleasant, some are terrifying, some are mundane, but none define you. None dictate your reality unless you allow them to. And herein lies the power. The power to say, I will not take this story as my truth. I will not live in the shadow. Your mind will resist. It will argue. It will try harder. But awareness is like sunlight, persistent, gentle, and unstoppable. He told me a story of two men walking through a forest. One man was terrified of every rustle, every shadow, convinced that danger was imminent. The other walked calmly, aware of the same sounds, but not controlled by them. The forest was the same for both men, he said. But the first man lived in a cage of his mind, while the second man walked in freedom. Your mind can build cages just as easily as it can illuminate paths. Which will you allow it to do? Here's the paradox. Your mind will also tell you, you can't change this. You're trapped in your nature, your habits, your past, and yet it is the same mind that imagines impossible worlds, dreams of flying, creates art, and discovers science. Your mind lies to you, but it also contains your greatest potential. The monk would smile when I looked puzzled. The thief and the treasure chest are in the same room, he said. Choose wisely what you unlock. Let me ask you this. How often do you listen to your mind as if it were the only voice in the room? How often do you take its judgments and fears as unquestionable truth? And yet, when you slow down, when you breathe, when you pause just long enough to observe, you notice the gaps. You notice the contradictions. You notice the stories it tells you about people, about yourself, about life, and how often they are fabrications stitched together by old fears, old memories, old lies. The monk encouraged me to treat thoughts like waves. A wave rises, it crashes, it disappears. You do not need to swim against it. You do not need to hold it. You simply float, observe, and let it pass. Some waves will be frightening. Some waves will shimmer with beauty, but none lasts forever. This practice, he said, is the doorway to clarity. It is the secret to seeing the world not as a projection of fear, but as a canvas of potential. And here is where most people miss the lesson. We fight our minds. We try to force them into obedience, like taming a wild animal with punishment and threats. But the monk showed me a different way. Compassion, patience, awareness. Instead of saying, "Stop lying to me, mind," say, "I see you. I hear you. But I will not let you control me." That simple shift transforms the battlefield into a dance. And in the dance, the lies lose their grip. He asked me, "Do you want to know the truth about yourself?" I nodded eagerly. He laughed softly and said, "The truth is simple. You are not your thoughts. You are not your fears. You are not the stories you tell yourself. You are the space in which thoughts appear. You are the awareness observing the waves. You are the sky, and thoughts are merely clouds." And for the first time, I realized the mind's greatest trick, convincing you that you're trapped, when, in fact, freedom has been present all along, like sunlight hidden behind storm clouds. But don't mistake this for an easy path. Your mind will resist this awareness. It will create distractions. It will seduce you with drama, nostalgia, and imagined crises. It will whisper, "You will fail if you stop worrying." And yet the monk reminded me worry is a habit, not a necessity. Fear is a habit, not a reality. Pain is a habit, not an identity. The moment you recognize this, you begin to untangle yourself from a lifetime of mental illusions. He would often say, "When your mind screams, 'This is real,' ask it, 'Can I see it with my own eyes? Can I touch it? Can I hear it without my interpretation?' Often the answer is no. It is a story. And knowing it is a story gives you a choice, to act from truth or to act from illusion. Every time you pause, every time you question, every time you breathe, and watch the mind's performance instead of joining it, you carve space for wisdom, peace, and freedom. Here's another secret the monk shared. Pain is not always external. Much of what we call suffering is manufactured by the mind. Regrets, what-ifs, comparisons, jealousy, insecurity, all these are shadows cast by our own thoughts. Recognize them, name them, and they lose their power. Do not engage in the narrative your mind spins about being wronged, being weak, being inadequate. Observe it, learn from it, but do not surrender to it. In this lies true mastery. Not mastery over the world, but mastery over the mirror of your own mind. He also said, your mind is a storyteller. It is not evil, it is not good. It is, and the story it tells is optional. You may choose to believe it, or you may choose to question it. You may choose to observe, and in observing, you create distance from the lie. This is the twist most people never grasp. The lies of the mind are not enemies. They are opportunities. Opportunities to see more clearly, to act more wisely, to live more freely. Every distorted thought is a chance to awaken. Every fear is a doorway. Every regret is a teacher. I remember one evening sitting with him by the river, the water reflecting the last light of the sun. He asked me, "What do you see?" I said, "I see the river." He shook his head gently. "No, you see a reflection. You see your own mind painting the water with memories, desires, and judgments. To see the river as it is, you must release the story." And in that moment, I understood. Reality is not what the mind tells you. Reality is what is. But to touch it, you must be willing to let go of the mirror's lies. So what does this mean for you, sitting there listening to this? It means that every time your mind tells you that you are limited, that you are not enough, that happiness is elsewhere, you can pause. You can question. You can breathe. You can watch. You can remind yourself, these are not truths. They are thoughts. They are visitors. They are clouds in a vast sky. You are the sky. The sky does not need to fight the clouds. It simply allows them to pass. And in that space, in that clarity, you find freedom. And perhaps most importantly, the monk taught me that this is a practice, not a one-time realization. The mind is persistent, clever, and charming in its deceptions. Awareness is a muscle that must be exercised daily. Begin small. Observe a thought. Name it, let it pass. Notice the stories you tell yourself about others, about failure, about the future. And slowly, over time, you create a life not dictated by illusions, but informed by truth. The mind is lying, yes, but you are learning to see. And seeing is liberation. I ask you now, will you continue to believe every story your mind tells, or will you begin to question, to observe, to awaken? Will you live as a captive of imagined realities, or will you taste the freedom that has been present all along? The choice is yours. The mirror is cracked. The storyteller is clever, but you, your awareness, is unbound, untouchable, and infinite. If there's one thing to take away, it is this. Your mind is powerful, but it is not infallible. Your mind is creative, but it is deceptive. Your mind can trap you in endless loops of fear and desire, but it can also imagine worlds beyond comprehension. To live wisely is not to silence the mind, but to see it as it truly is, a storyteller. Observe, question, and in doing so, you reclaim the life that has always been yours. And now, as you sit with this, consider how often you have taken the mind's lies as reality. Consider how often you have allowed fear to dictate your choices, pain to dictate your perception, and desire to dictate your identity. And now, choose differently. Pause. Breathe. Watch. Recognize the stories. Name the shadows. Let them pass. And step into the vast sky of awareness where the mind's illusions no longer hold dominion. The monk's final lesson was simple yet profound. Freedom is not found by changing the mind. Freedom is found by seeing through it. By realizing that you are not the mirror, not the storyteller, not the shadows. You are the awareness in which all things appear. You are the sky, infinite and unbounded. And when you see that, even for a moment, you know that happiness, peace, and clarity are not distant. They are present. They have been present all along. So take this moment to breathe, to pause, to watch the waves of your thoughts rise and fall. Let them come, let them go, and remember you are the sky. The mind's lies are nothing to fear. They are invitations to wake up, to see, and to live with eyes wide open. And the next time your mind whispers, "You cannot," whisper back, "I see you. You are not my master. I am free." If this message resonated, take a moment now to like this video. Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to Echoes of Greatness, where we explore the wisdom of life, the mind, and the heart. Begin to see, question, and awaken. Your mind may lie, but your awareness knows the truth.